From The Reporter, the paper of record for Delaware County's towns and villages, this is Off the Record, a quick look at the latest county news. I'm Andrew Kantor, and this week we've got Delaware County getting ready to battle New York City over water rights, Bovina playing Russian roulette with its highway department, Andy's cracking down at the transfer station, and a lot more. So all that said, let's get to it. All right, follow along here. Back in 1997, Delaware County and New York City reached a memorandum of agreement all about how the city would buy land up here and how it would help pay for some local programs in exchange for the county allowing it. Well, anyway, that agreement is up for renewal. And this time it looks like the city's Department of Environmental Protection might be going straight to Albany with its plans and maybe leaving the county out of it. Delaware County supervisors are not happy about that. They don't love that 1997 agreement, but they really don't like being left out of the whole process this time. So they passed a resolution saying that if the city wants another 10 years of land buying power up here, it has to stick to the 1997 bargain. The thing is, a resolution doesn't mean anything. It's basically a strongly worded letter because you really can't get between a willing seller and a willing buyer, even if the buyer is a big city. Of course, it's quite possible the city will want to be a good neighbor and keep up its local investments, support for county programs, and stuff like that, but probably not because the county supervisors are wagging their fingers. Over in Bovina, the highway superintendent, Ed Weber, is practically begging the town council for money to hire a full-time mechanic. Right now, he's only got 3 full-time employees, and work is piling up. Maintenance is slipping, and sometimes workers are being sent out alone when they're supposed to be in pairs. The department used to have 4 workers, but the amount of road work sure hasn't gone down. There's even a $45,000 line in the budget for a mechanic. But the council members said it was more important to keep taxes from going up too much, so no new mechanic for you. There is $75,000 for equipment in the budget, but that can't be used for a salary, so maybe the best he can do is buy some kind of AI robot worker? Sidney is saying goodbye to Riggs, the police department's canine. He's retiring before, the stress of the mean streets of Sidney finally gets to him. Now this is cool. There's actually a nonprofit group called the Sidney Police Canine Association that's already raised about $20,000 to buy a replacement dog. And they ain't cheap. We're talking something like more than $16,000 just for the dog and the training. And then you have, food and vet bills and other stuff to worry about. The new dog is also going to be able to do more than sniff out narcotics like Riggs. It'll be able to do a bunch more tracking and patrol work. And they're hoping to have it in a month or so. As for its name, that's going to be chosen by elementary school students, but we're hoping it ends up being called Aldi. So here's a pro tip. If you're in Stamford and won't let DPW workers onto your property to update your water meter, it's about to get expensive and annoying. The village trustees there passed a law that means first you get a written warning, and then you start getting fined for not letting them do their jobs. Why you would want to mess with the people who can literally turn off your water is beyond me, but hey, you do you. Delhi trustees are dealing with a bunch of parking headaches, starting with Woolerton Street, where cars are parked on both sides and it gets really tight. The thing is, they can't just paint lines on the street to keep people from parking. The trustees have to actually update the village code. That's if they want to create some kind of one-sided of the street parking rules. And you know what a big process it is to pass a new law. Announcements and public hearings and comment periods, all that stuff. But the trustees did approve a new electronic ticketing system for the cops, and it does stuff like take time-stamped photos. That way people can't claim they were across town when they got ticketed. If nothing else, it'll cut down on people going to court. They'll just pay, and the extra money the village collects from increased parking fines will cover the cost of the new system. And that's about $10,000 a year. Right now, fewer than 1 in 5 water meters in Roxbury are actually working. It's kind of good for the residents who end up just paying a flat rate, but it's a big problem for the town because it's losing a lot of money when people aren't paying for the water they're using. So it's going to replace those meters, but that ain't cheap. prices have actually jumped 50% since the town got bids in May. Can you say tariffs? The good news is that most of the cost is going to be covered by a grant, so the townsfolk won't be on the hook for anything that isn't wet. Andy's has had enough of the way people are treating workers at the town's transfer station and how debris is just getting dumped where it doesn't belong. Contractors, they're showing up late. Fights are breaking out when containers are full and people are just leaving their junk outside the gates. Supervisor Bud Gladstone is D-U-N done. There are cameras rolling now, and the town is going to start clamping down. Stricter gate checks, locked containers, and if it needs to, even guards at the entrance. And people who try to abuse the system say bye-bye to your dumping privileges. There's money on the line. Andy's is already 31 tons over its waste limit this quarter, and that's $3,500 that taxpayers have to pay. So Gladstone was clear. You respect the staff, you respect the rules, or you're out. As he put it, we might not make friends with everybody, but we're not in the business for that. And that's it for this week's Off the Record, but you know what to do. There's plenty more in the Reporter, like Delhi's plan for the former Department of Public Works building. It might become a hotel. Andy's is buying some of those solar-powered vehicle speed signs, even without a grant from the state. Oh, and Andy's is also finally getting a cell tower to take the town out of the dark ages. And of course, there's even more, but you need to pick up the paper, or better yet, subscribe. Head over to the-reporter.net. It is your hometown paper, and it is a lot better than social media if you want to get the real news. Until next week, thanks for being here.